Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Let's check our levels. We're really excited. Here, there's Kyle. Oh, no. Our secret guests are already hanging out. They're going to go away real quick.
Wait, what guests?
Live streaming's hard, but we are excited to be here with everyone today because Led Zeppelin Pinball is out from Stern Pinball. And we are so excited. This is a theme that we have all been wanting for a really long time.
Yes.
So how are you feeling, Kyle? Are you nervous?
No.
You look a little nervous there. Lighten up.
When I get to, when we're just doing like fixing games, I'm very, very calm and zen. But when it comes to these kinds of shows, I'm a little anxious, just like that much, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, so to let you guys know, before we bring in Steve and Tim and start talking about the game, we are doing lots of giveaways today, including Project Pinball raffle tickets for their Led Zeppelin limited edition pin. So they did 2 raffles on that, and we have the last tickets. So those are completely sold out. At the end of the show, we're going to bring in Daniel Spolar from Project Pinball and do that raffle. So today at 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 people are going to be filling out their information to get a Led Zeppelin LE to their house. Nuts.
Amazing. Lucky them.
Yeah. And poor Kyle's dad didn't make into the raffle on time, so
just that much too slow. Oh well.
So I'm dropping in the chat for everyone. I have a forms link. This is a way to get everyone that's in the chat signed up for the giveaway, and then I'll pull from those names. You know, the last few times we did it before and it got a little hazy. I think all you guys remember. So sign up to that Google Forms link I just posted. And we should do our first drawing real quick. Might as well give away a raffle ticket right now and start off exciting.
Why not? Wait, I thought the exciting part was us talking to Tim and Steve.
I know, but if it's a chance to win a game. So you're winning a raffle ticket. That doesn't mean you won the game.
Yes. You get a chance at a chance to win the game.
Yep. All right. So I have 129 responses. I'm going to go ahead and pull those.
Wait, can I put one?
Oh, 130, 133. All right, you guys keep putting them in. Oh, wow, 136. I'm just watching it go up. Yeah, you can get in on it. There's the giveaway link.
I was really hoping that I had a black turtleneck so I could try to get the energy of Steve RItchie embodied in me, but unfortunately didn't have one.
So I'm wearing my favorite Marco shirt.
I just can't stop the giveaway. They just keep adding in.
That means we can't do it now.
So Kyle, you played the game yesterday or the day before when you set it up. How did it feel?
I think I've played it like 20-30 minutes a day since Monday. It's very good. This is very, very classic Steve RItchie, very fast, very brutal, very smooth. It feels very rewarding to hit these narrow, long shots. Everything I liked about Black Knight in the narrow entrance and smooth transitions is very alive and well here. It's lovely. The sounds are great. I mean, the soundtrack is unbeatable. I don't understand the rules 100% yet. I could listen to Tim tell me how to play the entire game, and it will go like way over my head. But I'll get it. You know, it's fun. It's very good.
That's awesome. I'm sure you had the music blasting too when you were playing.
I had it set to 36.
I'm going to go ahead and pick a name. So this winner will win a Project Pinball ticket to the raffle.
Cool.
And the winner is Paul Quayle. Paul Quayle. So if you're in the chat, Paul, you need to let us know. We'll give you a little bit of time to say you're here. Paul
Please be here.
Quayle.
Cool last name.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
Let's put that in. It's a good name. All right. So, Paul, if you're in the chat, go ahead and let us know. And Midge, if you're out there modding, please let us know if we miss him. If he doesn't respond by the next giveaway, then we will re-pull that one out. So I'm going to start the giveaway timer. Put a little giveaway timer up there with his name.
We'll figure out how to do giveaways like really, really well one day.
Yeah, there'll be like an app for that, right?
I'm sure there is.
My little Led Zeppelin
there's
blimp.
like some sort of a restream plugin that does it for us.
It's pronounced Jimmy. Yep, congrats, Paul. This is your chance. 1 in 200 chance of winning the Led Zeppelin game.
The odds are in your favor.
Okay, so I put together this cute little 30-second Steve and Tim intro. I'm going to play that, and then we're going to bring them in.
Oh, I got to see this.
You ready? Yeah, are you watching? It's awesome.
I love that picture so much. That's so good.
Aren't they the greatest? All right, well, here they are. Tim Sexton, our lead programmer, and designer, Mr. Steve RItchie. Thanks for joining us today, everyone. You can talk now.
How you doing?
We're doing
Thanks for having us here, Moto and Kyle.
Thank you.
All right, how are their levels, everyone? Oh, we got a hype emote. Thank you. All right, so we have the Pro, one of the first Pros to be shipped. Kyle's been playing it a little bit, and now we have y'all on the show, and we just want to talk everything Led Zeppelin. So, Kyle, I'll let you kind of lead this interview with them, and yeah, let's do this.
Discussions. Okay, so I didn't prepare for this at all. No, I'm just kidding. I think we first have to say we're very lucky and honored to have y'all join us on the show. It is fun to talk to the people, the creative forces behind the games we love. So thank you, first off.
I want to say thank you guys because, we're here at Stern Pinball, but the distributors like Marco are a huge part of our success here as well as a company. You guys do a great job with social media, stuff like this. When we have the pinball shows, you guys are always a spectacular presence there, really dominating and getting the word out to people about pinball. So thank you guys. I want to say that.
I want to say thanks too to everyone at Marco. It's an amazing group, and it's always the best booth. That's it. It's always the best, baddest booth with the most games, and it's incredible.
We really missed being out there in the show circuit this year, that's for sure. We felt it.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Pinball will be back. We will be back. There's a bright future ahead of everyone.
Absolutely. Keep our eyes on the prize, on the better side of things. But instead of focusing on the bad bits, I think a good question or a good thing to talk about first is when we were speaking earlier in the week, Steve, you were telling kind of like a story of how you were first introduced to Led Zeppelin, right? And it was kind of, it has been something you have wanted to do for a very long time. Would you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah. In 1968, my wife, well, she was my future wife then, but we walked by a music store and saw the album cover, with the Crash Zeppelin. And it immediately caught our eye, Led Zeppelin. It was like, what's that? And shortly after that, I was in the Coast Guard when I met her, and I got orders to go to Vietnam. So I ended up going to Vietnam. And my wife bought the record and continued to send me more of them in Vietnam until I had the first 3 albums, I think, maybe the 4th even. 3. Anyway, I played them. I loved the music. I had a guitar with me, and I learned how to play some of their tunes. And I don't know, Led Zeppelin's had a huge influence over me in my coin-op career. I have asked at Atari, like around 1976 or 75, can I please have this license? But they said no. I did get a Superman license, but there just weren't very many licenses around then. It was kind of a new thing. Anyway, then I moved on to Williams, and I asked them if I could have the license, and Led Zeppelin, I guess, just said no. I don't know what happened there, but we've been trying to get it for a long, long time, and finally we did get it. And I'm very happy about that.
It's perfect. It's a great, it's a feel-good story, right? It all comes around in the end. What about you, Tim? Do you have any fond memories?
Remember that Led Zeppelin concert you went to?
Yeah.
I'm only a couple of years younger than Steve.
Yeah.
I just missed the cutoff for seeing Led Zeppelin perform live during their career, and I don't have those concert experiences Steve had, but growing up, in the 90s and early 2000s, Led Zeppelin, despite not releasing any new studio albums for some time and not touring, still had a huge radio presence. Father was very into the classic rock music. My mother was as well, and constantly listening to it growing up. And then I've talked about this a little bit. Led Zeppelin has this staying power. It's this kind of universal music that everyone likes. It works so well with something like a pinball machine. It works well in the films you see it in. It's just great rock music, and it's not just rock music too. It's bluesy. It's got heavy at times. It has all these properties that just make it very timeless. So it's always been, for me, one of my favorite rock bands of all time, and was happy to work on it. I think it's a great brand, great theme, great everything, great music for pinball. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. My story is very similar to you because we are very much the same age. But it is. It's kind of like it's multi-dimensional music, and it is, at least for the 20th and 21st century, the group does have good staying power. And it is fun to see it embodied in a pinball machine because you're right. I mean, rock and roll and pinball do go really well together. As we've seen from like previous, titles, right? And Metallica's and the Aerosmiths and Iron Maidens and such. So exciting. But I mean, this game definitely has a different design story, right? I mean, it's pretty incredible. Steve, I think you are one of the longest in the industry designers or, people now, right? I mean, you've been designing games since the 70s when you were working at Atari, through Williams, through Stern, and now still Stern. I mean, you've designed games on draftsmen's tables, to early computer-assisted design, now to three-dimensional computer-assisted design. And it's pretty amazing that you guys designed this entire game online, right? I mean, this was a lot of video conferencing and such, correct? Am I right on that, or?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what you said last, but yeah, COVID kind of, made it difficult to throw it together towards the end. But in the beginning, we worked together, and the game is like, well, okay, when I used to draw on a drafting table, I would scare everybody because I would have the game drawn on my drawing, and we had electric erasers then with big, long eraser stick. And if I had to move something, I would have to erase it. And there would be a pile of eraser rubber stuff, in my pencil tray at the bottom of the table. And the president came in once. He goes, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I said, "I'm moving the pop bumpers." And he goes, "Okay. Somebody said you erased the whole game." No, I didn't erase the whole game, Mike. Anyway, those days it's a lot easier to design a game, believe me, with CAD. Computer-aided design it just goes very quickly, and changes are easy to make. And it's still tedious, and it takes a long time, and there are tons of details, but that's what makes a game magic, all the details and everything that we do. And of course, the addition of, software, Tim's magic, it's pretty incredible. And I want you to know that we are so far apart in age. I'm 70 and you're 28. Is that right, Tim?
27, yeah.
27. Actually, he's nothing but trouble. No, he's not. That's a mean thing to say. We get along. We just do. I respect his work and the way he feels about games, and he respects the way I feel about them, and we talk back and forth about, the things we want to try, and unless it's absolutely ridiculous, try stuff. That's what we do, and it's been nice to work with him and this whole team for 2 games in a row.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge when we went to working online was you needed even more organization to get everyone on track every day online. So, but I've been able to organize everyone on the software team and the art team very well, and working with Steve. Steve's been great at transitioning over to the new technology we're using to communicate this way instead of in person. So it's all worked pretty smoothly.
Do you prefer this way now of working virtually together?
There are advantages and disadvantages to being in the office, sure. I do. Steve used to get annoyed because, like, my cubicle, and I'm just in a cubicle at work, is like right in the middle of everything. There's so much traffic, so it's really hard to have conversation about the game without it's like the perception that everyone's there listening in, and we want to try some stuff before we're ready to show it to even people in the office. So I do get a little extra privacy at home. The downside is that if I make a change, Steve, who plays the game every single day, it takes a little bit longer to propagate that change over to Steve. I have to upload the code and then he has to download it. And, Steve used to be playing in my tiny little cubicle I couldn't fit every single day, and he'd notice everything I did on the game.
Nice.
And for me, it was like, it's like this method online. I can't just walk over to you and say, hey, like I do, I walk up to the wall between you and, and your cube. And it's like, well, anybody I want to talk to, I want to talk to Chuck Blake, who does our electrical stuff, or John Rothermel. All I have to do is walk up to their office and say it. It just takes so much less time, and there's so much more communication. That's the magic that we lost. However, it just takes longer. We didn't lose the communications. For the most part, it just took longer.
That's what I was going to ask, is like versus maybe Black Knight, right? I mean, was the development process, how far was it stretched, needing to do more virtual communication? Did it really slow the progress of the game, or were you able to hit every milestone to get it out when it was supposed to?
Okay, you're speaking about Black Knight. I didn't hear all of that, and our subtitles are gone. So could you ask me again, maybe, step closer to your cameras? I can read your lips.
I can restate the question here for you real quick.
Okay, that's great.
Hopefully Moto can restart the captioning software. We need it. But she said, compared to the Black Knight process, what were the differences between us working on Black Knight and working on this, considering what happened with working from home?
Well, there was a lot more communication instantaneously. It was also more fun. It's important to have fun when you're making a game. I don't know if everybody has as much fun as we do, but probably not, but this is what we do, and it's fun to do that. And I don't know, just when you have, a good idea stream going and a nice, I don't know. What is it? I can't think of the word, but it's like, it's just, we got along. It was, I don't know, easier, no doubt.
We were working on this project before we had to go home for a very long time. So we did have already a pretty baseline understanding of what we wanted the game to do and what the shots were going to look like. So when we switched to working from home, it just, instead of me going into Steve's office to look at the drawing, he could send it to me over email and I could open it up in my CAD viewer and take a look at it and see how things are progressing. And then for me, nothing was too difficult because all my work is on the computer. The software was easy to port over to home.
Sure.
But just those daily interactions we would have in the office where we would kind of look at stuff and talk about stuff and point to things that had to change a little bit. But we still had like half of it was done in the office, half of it was done at home almost.
Yeah, another important thing that we needed to do pretty kind of often, well, I do, and I sent some to you, but I mean, looking at a little tiny drawing is not the same as printing out a full-scale drawing, and standing over it and looking at it and seeing how the shots are going to work or not. I mean, they tell me a lot when I look down at a drawing. It's at full size. And so I had to go into the building now and then and make those drawings and bring them home just to feel better about, okay, is this really going to shoot good? And it did work out. It did.
Yeah, that's a big change. Even at our small company, like transitioning between working at home and not, it makes things, the communication lines are difficult. And especially when you're working with a big team, right? Because it's not just you and Steve or, Tim and Steve sitting down making this game. There's a lot of people to talk to get everything straight. So, bravo.
And a lot of people who have had the opportunity to work from home, like we have, who are fortunate like we are, have had the luxury of being able to do this wherever, but we have to be near Stern because we still need to build the games. We need to build physical whitewoods. So I do go in there and Steve goes in there to, I go up there to pick up equipment, exchange equipment, get things adjusted, that sort of thing. But Steve does need to be there pretty often to actually help the game's development. So
oversee the prototyping and such.
Here. Yeah.
It makes sense.
But we've reduced the amount of time we're in the office because of the COVID safety protocols.
Absolutely. Well, this one's for you, Tim. Sorry, I had to look at my phone to take a look at some of the questions I tried to pan out. But, okay, so your first big lead software role was with Black Knight. With this game, were there any sort of like sophomore album sort of like problems that you came up with, like any sort of writer's block, or were you able to riff off some ideas to make something cohesive relatively quickly? Or
the first game was more difficult for sure for me because, well, the first time you do anything new, I think it's more difficult. In general, I was simultaneously learning a lot of things about the Stern code base and, pinball software design philosophy while I was working on a game. And I knew a lot about games. I had a lot of knowledge as a player, but I didn't have a lot of knowledge about the design process. So it was great to be one of the greatest things about being in the Stern office is that there's so many just real experts in that office. There's so much great knowledge there that is shared, and people are great about sharing what they know with us. So, if it was just me on my own, it would have been more challenging than it was. But I found that, I still have a strong passion for pinball. I wanted to work on licensed games. I wanted to work on Led Zeppelin. So there were no writer's block sort of challenges. I actually felt more confident with my knowledge of what our pinball machines could do to take on a little bit more risk in the design of the software and to pull off some things that I may not have been confident enough to do on Black Knight. I may have kept it a little more traditional. And I think I was able to understand when in the process to try those things, how to iterate on them. Like Steve was talking about, we have to play the game and make sure we're having fun. And if something's not working, you have to be ready to throw it in the trash can and start over. And I learned that on Black Knight, and I carried that forward. And, I hope to continue to do that if I have the opportunity to work on more games in the future, to just continue to build on what I know and take more risks and approach the titles with confidence every time.
You had to learn the culture of Stern also, which
That's
was
true.
interesting. If somebody comes in, they have an idea, a picture in their mind of how it all goes together, but it's never really like that, is it? It's always something different. And I don't know. I haven't had to do that in a long time, but I do remember the experience of having to do that, say moving from Williams to Stern or whatever, or Atari back to Williams. It's like nuts. Anyway, but everybody has a culture and a style. When I say everybody, I mean every company, every pinball company that existed in the past and now exists as a style and a culture. And Stern's, like Tim said, it's our product design area is filled with incredible people, and you know their names. It's just really, it's a great team. That's it. And I love them. You're a family. That's how it is.
That's beautiful. That's a wonderful response. No, and it's been fun. The last couple interviews we've done, speaking with again, like the mechanical engineers, right? Everyone has just a passion and a love for what they do, and it really shows. I mean, you guys have really been, as a company, when I say you guys, have been killing it for years now. So this is very exciting. It's nice to have you guys working together as a power combo also. So I'm very, very much excited to continue seeing how this game evolves and what you do, Tim. What were there any, like, you were talking about scrapping ideas, right? How much, I mean, did this game get scrapped at all? I mean, was there like a major design revision at any time during its production? Were there things that, you know, you get halfway done, you're like, this just isn't working, let's change this? Was there anything like that?
Are you talking just on the software?
How about both? I mean, if you want to expand on that, I mean, with Steve and the layout of the game and with the software.
Steve, do you want to answer, or should I?
I can answer part of it, and then you can answer.
Okay.
So I'm not exactly sure what he said because I can't read his lips. He's too far from the camera, and all he's doing is, well, he's being normal, and I'm abnormal in order to hear. And I don't know. All right. Anyway, he was talking about major redesigns. I heard that, and there was a major redesign in May. I went crazy, and I redesigned a lot of stuff, and it was for the betterment of the game, I think, and I cleaned up a lot of areas and made the game smooth and playable. I don't know. So a major redesign, I'm not going to go into the details of that, but I'll just say that, it's a little catastrophic. The rules can go on. And another thing we haven't talked about, Tim, is that, there's lots of lights on the playfield, inserts, and we work together about, putting them on the playfield and maybe, stylistically placing them and whatever. But we do work together. It's always been true. Every software guy I've ever worked with, if you're not working with them together on the whole game, it's just not going to be a masterpiece. And there it is. Now you can answer, Tim.
Yeah, I guess when I talk about throwing something out, usually what I'm talking about is when I jot something down on a piece of paper and then I scribble it out because I'm like, oh, that's not going to work, and I had a better idea today. So that's more of the process there. There's a lot of steps to the software side now because there's a difference between the rules as they are in English and then the code that we actually write in C++. Sure. So there's a ton of steps that are outside of rules that go into working on the game. And with that stuff, you're using your engineering background. In my case, I went to school for computer science, and a lot of everyone on the team has to think like an engineer in our product development group. It's just what you have to do. We are doing an incredible amount of engineering. We're doing electrical engineering, mechanical, software, hardware, all in this one product. And the goal is to make it fun. And you just have to be ready to iterate and, fix things when they don't work and move forward from there. So that's what that process is.
I gotcha. Yeah, not be afraid to scrap something that was a half-baked idea. I just want to confirm, hey, Emoto, did we lose subtitles altogether?
We did lose captions. I would need to restart the Zoom to do that.
I was wondering if maybe I should move my laptop. Sorry, everybody. So it would be easier for Steve to see what I'm saying.
Yes, it would, Kyle.
Emoto, really quick, I'm going to move this camera. I'm going to move the laptop a little bit.
while Kyle is readjusting his setup, let's give a shout out, Tim, if you could list off all the key players in the Stern team that actually worked on this game.
Oh yeah, let me make sure I bring up the list again just to make sure I don't forget. Because there's a huge team. I think
a lot of people worked on it for sure.
So first thing I want to say is at Stern Pinball, we have, hundreds of employees, and every single employee involved at Stern Pinball is very important to the process. That's everyone from Gary to, the person who is going to be actually assembling the games or testing the games. They're all important, and, we couldn't have a company without all of their efforts. We couldn't keep going the way we're going, making all these games, making so many people happy by making these games without all of that. So I definitely want to say that anyone I leave off this list, it's just for the sake of time. I wish I could name every single person who works at Stern.
For sure.
But so as I get to this list I put together and I lost recently, Steve, of course, is the game designer. So it's really pinball is such a unique game. You have to have a play field. You have to have a unique play field to play this game, and it all starts with him. And our mechanical engineering team, John Rothermel being the lead mechanical engineer. I can let Steve speak to how much he works with him. Steve works with him more than I do, but I work with him plenty too on the project. Can you talk about the mechanical engineering teams, Steve?
Yeah, well, John Rothermel is, he's great. I've worked with him, I don't know, probably I think I've worked with him on every single project except Black Knight, maybe. No, that's not true. Black Knight definitely did a lot of stuff on it. Elliot did a lot of stuff, though, too. Anyway, yeah, all the mechanical engineers pitched in on this game pretty much.
And Rob Blakeman also did a lot, too, and he was, did the entire topper for us, and he did some stuff on the game as well. We had the project artists, so Stefan Jensen did all 3 art packages for all the games, every single piece, back glass, cabinet sides, front, art blades, playfield, the whole shebang. It's a lot of stuff to do.
It's a lot of assets to work with.
That's crazy.
That's
short time frame. And his team was Greg Ferreras, Stephen Martin, and Justin Freight are all on that art team there. So, our art, including the engineering, art is also a huge part of that process, and it informs everything in the design stage there. So I'll go over the software team now. So I had Dean Grover working with me for a very long time in this project. Dean's actually worked at Williams briefly for a little while, and he works for Stern here now, sort of semi-retired, fun job, but he's pretty much full-time doing this stuff every day, and he was a huge help for me on this project. When he was able to join, Raymond Davidson as well. He's a newer employee here. It's his first time working in the pinball industry, and he had to start in the middle of COVID, so he hasn't been in the office yet, actually. He's been working remotely this whole time.
Wow.
nice.
Also, Corey Stepp helped with a lot of system side support for stuff that we need for the game. Mark Guidarelli, Tanya Kleiss, Mike Vinicor were all great assets to the project here.
3 of my favorite people.
And we also have this big LCD screen, which takes a tremendous amount of work to support on the number of games we're doing. It's been a big leap forward for pinball to add that. Denai Kinivathana and Chuck Ernst were the leads on the display there, but that full team, it's a lot of names. Get ready. Mark Reneses, Mark Galvez, Tom Kizavat, Olivia Jensen, Alex Borey, David Liskovic, Mimi Ernst, Larry Watman, and Eric Drucker. All had a hand in that display. So it's a lot of people, a lot of work going into that.
Big list of talented peoples.
Yep, absolutely. Bob Baffy was a sound engineer for the game. And the other teams I'll go over, these people work on pretty much every game, but they're super important for every game. On the electrical team, we have Chuck Blake, Jim Sherd, Reina Cortez, Simon Sudblade, and Andrew Pines. The engineering lab, we have Dave Cadeau, who puts all these games together for us before they go out for manufacturing, so he's constantly building games, tearing them down, building the new versions. It's a lot of work, and he puts them all together himself. The bill of materials team, we have Gabby Alvarez and Leticia Ramirez. The model shop, we have Ken Otteson Sr. and Mark Johnson, who help us fabricate the models we need for the game.
Yeah, I'd like to say a couple words about those guys.
Sure.
Mark Johnson has returned to pinball from the period of time when, well, we all were out of work in 2000 when Williams Pinball shut down. But Mark kept working in other businesses, and now we have him. And he's an amazing individual. He's a guy who can make prototype wireform tubes, and it's like, it's cool to see them, and normally they take a very long time for us to see the first article when we hand them a print. And so it's nice to see them quicker. The other guy, Kenny, has been in the coin business, I don't know, probably for as long as I have, almost 50 years. And he is a master, he's just a master machinist. He always has an idea. He never says no to anything. I'm amazed, and he's fast. I mean, that's important to us because we want to see our changes as soon as possible. We want the real article to test and play with. And so those two guys are very important. And they're serving a lot of teams at the same time. But when it's our game and we have the priority, it was a pleasure to work with them, and always has been. That's all I wanted to say.
And I just wanted to get a couple names in here. So on the voice acting, Brendan Small lended his talent to this game.
Nice.
Our product development executive producer is Mark Wayna, who has the tremendously difficult job of keeping everything on track. The program manager for the company, who is in charge of every single project from start to finish that happens at the entire company, Danielle Siebert. She's incredibly organized, helps us tremendously keep everything moving forward. Director of licensing, Jody Dankberg, of course, was responsible for securing the great Led Zeppelin license, which was Jody. Amazingly impressive. We had game testing help from Nick Wayna, who is a great pinball player as well, and he's been to a lot of the pinball shows. I think he's helped you guys out at Marco before it. Some things, and of course, George Gomez is head of product development. Everyone else in product development does lend their talents in every way to the game, and also everyone in sales, marketing, the executive team, the manufacturing team. It's all important.
That's an epic list, and that's awesome.
That was my favorite credits I've ever heard.
It's a huge family. All right, well, before we get on to the next question, it's a perfect time to do another giveaway. So, Kyle, hold up the banner. Hold up one of the banners for me. We're going to give away one of these Led Zeppelin promo banners. Where is he?
I'm on the... Oh, hey.
So everyone's got their name in there, then...
Okay, hold on. I have to move it from the other side.
Here you go. You can hold it up.
Ta-da.
I went to a wide shot. All right, so I'm loading everyone's name. Let's see who is the winner for this epic Icarus reaching up banner.
It's almost as big as I am.
Yep, 63 inches tall. Be great in your game room or your arcade.
Yeah. Or your living room.
See. Oh, yeah. Right in the kitchen. On
Bedroom,
the fridge.
kitchen.
Okay. I have the names in, and the winner of the Led Zeppelin. You make a great. Is it white? Alan Skovorjek. Man, they don't make it easy for you. Alan Skovorjek, if you're in the chat, go ahead and let us know. I'm going to put your name up on here, and you have until the next giveaway to claim your banner.
Send this to you.
Oh, God.
I'm going to move it back so you can see my body. Somewhere around there.
Awesome. All right, now back to our regular scheduled programming.
I have to say, the art packages are very lovely on this game. It's very striking. You do not see a lot of pinball using super white cabinets, right? The Led Zeppelin 3 album cover artwork on the Pro It's just, again, when you look at all these other games in here, they're all black and blue and have all sorts of color. But when you look at this, it's mostly white. And it pops really well. And it's very starkly different than what's on the playfield, which is just a explosion of color. It's great. The artwork is fantastic on this. I want to say one thing. This isn't really a question, but the pop bumper caps on this game might be the coolest pop bumper caps in pinball. Trailing maybe just like Medusa or Bally's Viking or something. These might be up there in the top 5 coolest pinball pop bumper caps. Just saying.
Oh yeah, let's see it.
Here.
Well, Kyle, you also have the advantage of seeing the art in real life. You always need to see it in real life. We always do mock-ups in our lab before we do anything. And I think with the Led Zeppelin 3 package, it's really going to stand out at an arcade. I mean, when I go to the factory and I look, I'm like, all the way across the factory, I'm like, that's Led Zeppelin. You can tell immediately. And it has the big logo there, which is important and eye-catching.
It's one thing that I really, you can't appreciate all the artwork in pinball when you're playing a game in an arcade, right? They're always, shoved one up next to another. You can barely see the cabinet artwork. And, in the long time I've been doing pinball, exploring the artwork and some of the special things on the cabinet, it's special. And this one's it's incredible. So yes, go see one in real life. You will be pleasantly surprised. What kind of weighing in from the licensor dictated any of the color or artwork? Was there any weighing in from the people that hold Led Zeppelin's license?
I can answer this. There's always weighing in because the licensor is who we're making. We have an agreement with them. Typically, there's a style that they want us to adhere to, and I think Led Zeppelin's products, if you look at any Led Zeppelin products, have had a very consistent style to them. There are a ton of them. It's not very often you see Led Zeppelin products, but they're all very consistent, and that's something that they want to maintain their image that way. So I think every brand has the right to say, this is our brand, this is what our brand's policies are, and this is what we want our branded products to look like. So that's always a part of the process.
Absolutely. I'm just saying that from they do have a very curated image, right? A lot of buying music in old formats was definitely the packaging and the artwork on the album covers. And Led Zeppelin has always had very, some of their album covers are very iconic, right? Most people would be able to look at something and be like, oh yeah, that's Led Zeppelin 4. Oh, that's Houses of the Holy or something, right? Just curious. It's very nice.
And this is a quick question from everyone in the chat, and they're asking, and I feel like it's kind of a silly question, but everyone just wants to know, did you get to work next to any band members from Led Zeppelin?
We did not get to work with any band members. We heard some things second or third hand. They had opinions. I think we fulfilled what they wanted us to do, and
I think they're happy with it. Yeah, absolutely.
It's true on every license game. There has to be give and take between what we do and what they want, and them to try and understand pinball, us to try and understand their preferences about the brand. And,
I think if anyone could understand rock and roll and the brand, though, it would be you, Steve. So.
Led Zeppelin has not been, only recently have they licensed anything. And it's like, it's amazing that it finally happened. I never thought it would, but I asked for it, and Gary and the rest of the people and Jody put it together somehow, and it was pretty cool.
That's great. Yeah, absolutely. So can we talk, Kyle? Can we look at, maybe the electric magic or the lighting system? kind of go over some
what
of
I
that?
kind of wanted to move into next. You're reading my mind.
Look at it. We want to look at it.
So, yeah, okay. So that's one very big difference between the Pro and the Premium is the Electric Magic. What would you call it? I kind of want to call it a tower, but it's not. It's a rising spinner. There's so much to it. Let's talk about that. Someone go.
We started with expression lights. It's like, I don't know, it's probably been almost 2 years ago that we presented this, and it's something that I wanted in the game. I wasn't sure how we were going to implement it, but I had already done it on Star Trek. I got to be careful with that. Star Trek LED had lights inside the cabinet wall, and you could see them from the inside of the game and the outside. Well, this is a step further, and we tried a particular a prototype system, and we weren't happy with it. But later on, it became awesome, and I'll let Tim now speak to all that because he's the one that made it all happen. And I'll tell you what the major achievement of this man Tim Sexton is, and it's like tying everything to the beats of the music, everything. And pitch. It's amazing. And it's like, we have a little more ways to go, but it's sounding and looking great.
So cool. Yeah, Tim, so what were the challenges of, not only making a light show, right, for every insert in the game, but also translating that up to the lighting system?
Yeah, so with that device, I mean, it's a device, basically, this lighting system in itself, and it hasn't been done this way, in any of our pinball machines. Like I said, there are earlier versions, but we iterate, we use the latest technology, we leverage the advantages we have with the spike system to drive these new lighting changes we're making in our games, which weren't really possible when you had, especially incandescents. You couldn't get the cost and the power usage down to what you can now, and you can't put out as much light as you can now. So there's a lot of electrical budgeting challenges that they're challenges. They're just part of iterating and improving on the game. But then from the software point of view, once all those guys do the hard stuff, then all I have to do is figure out how to sync it up with everything else in our game, and then we're off to the races, and we explore different avenues of technology to choreograph it and stuff. But the design philosophy was what started it, and it was, we want a synchronized Led Zeppelin experience like you're going to a Led Zeppelin concert. Those don't exist. You can't go to one. So what's the next best thing? Buy the Led Zeppelin pinball machine and get the Led Zeppelin concert right in a pinball machine in your home, or at locations when those are open safely and everything. There will be that experience for you there. So the lights just kind of followed from that. What do concerts have, especially modern concerts, have great contemporary lighting systems, and we're trying to simulate that on the game.
It looks incredible. I'm very excited to get my hands on one when it becomes available, and we'll probably install it here on this game on one of our normal episodes that we do without special guests. Yeah. But so going forward, it seems like, if I read correctly, all cabinets now will be routed and prepared to have this expression lighting system installed in future titles, correct?
Of this title, yes.
Yes, okay.
In the future, that's up in the air.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I know people have been asking, but there are very lovely plastic covers over the routed holes. So if you did not intend to get the expression lighting system for whatever reason, the cabinet, you would never be able to tell that there was a depression there for those lights to be installed in. It's very slick and very well done.
Can we see that in a close-up? I just think it's really cool that because one of the deciding factors of like, oh, am I going to get a Pro or Premium? But the fact that eventually we can have expression lightings on any of the Led Zeppelins, and it's ready for it. I think it's amazing.
Hop on the handheld camera, and I could just jump in there really quick to show.
Yeah,
was
when you
very
said that, I was
curious.
like, that's great.
It might be hard to show up, but
yeah, okay, cool.
you've got this routed out section here with a plastic cover, and then I'm assuming the tail ends of the wires dip down beneath the playfield right here because it kind of makes a dog leg like that. So very lovely. Yeah, that's exciting. It's neat. So what about the electric magic device, though?
Yeah.
It was an idea that I had. Like I said, I was putting it together totally differently, but it had a spinning target in it, a magnet, and could raise and lower, underneath the playfield to pop up. It could throw the ball out the front way. It could throw the ball out from the back. All those kinds of things. But a very gifted mechanical engineer named Elliot Eisman put together a beautiful mechanism that, and it's compact and very durable, and it's just fun to play. It does a lot of stuff. And
it's very cool.
It does pop up in the middle of the playfield, and you would think, okay, it blocks everything, but really, it doesn't really block anything. If you want to, if you're a decent player, you can still make the center ramp. You can still, often you can, it happens that you shoot through the electric magic unit and it will go up that ramp. Often it hits the Icarus pop-up, and if you want to nail the drop targets that it blocks, it's possible to knock them down through the thing. But if you really want to make the shots, and you have to make them, you can shoot at the rock targets on the far right and rebound off of them to the Zep targets and leg targets.
So basically, just play better. No. No, it's very neat. It makes the game seem dynamic. I'm very excited to play with that because it changes what you will need to do when it is active, right? But the device itself...
There's also like a digital spinner in it. It's fun to rip it. That's it. It's just fun. I don't know. We've got a good sound.
Spinners.
And, Tim's done a nice job. Speak.
Spinners are my favorite part of pinball. So it's pretty much the neatest thing because it adds a spinner where a spinner wasn't before, which just makes it better. The device itself, what then? It consists of a motor to raise it up and down, a electromagnet to catch the ball, and then a spinner. Is there anything else to it?
No, there's also LEDs that light up the plastic over the top of it.
Okay.
And there's actually a total of 3 optos switches within the device, one to register the spinner, one to register when the ball is on the center of the magnet, and one to register a ball entering the device. Okay.
Huh. And it can stage a ball underneath the playfield?
Yeah, it can. And it does, if we did, so far there's been a little bit of gameplay shown on the premium. We've started production on the pro games, but we've just done some examples on the premium and LE games where you could shoot it, the ball could stay under the playfield. It stays for a little while. It comes back up. If you tilt, it comes back up. You don't get anything. But we could stage it down there below for a little while to open up the playfield, have it come back up. We could reattach the ball, or not attach it, but we can present the ball on that magnet. That's where the magic comes in, I'm doing it in software. It's not as much magic for me, but it should appear to be, hey, it magically came back and it's sitting there and you can bash it and knock it off. And then it can relock it and it tosses it for a super jackpot. It can toss it in the other directions and stuff. So there's a lot of cool things that magnet could do. And then, the spinner, we tied that sound into it to give you like the progress. So I'm charging it up, I'm getting it ready, and then bam, you get the mode start. So that's all the effects that go into it.
I'd also like to speak to this. It's like, it's unjammable. It's really cool. There just really aren't any malfunctions because the electric magic unit is free to rise up. You can pick it up you can pull it up with your hand if you could get to, it's free. So even if a ball, which I've only seen it happen once, a ball gets like captured underneath the top, it is self-clearing. The motor keeps going around, lifts it up, frees the ball, and it's flowing again. Huh. And that's a really cool thing. We don't want problems.
I'm excited to see that. It'll be fun. It's always fun to explore a new electromechanical device in a pinball machine. So that'll be neat to see. Did you have an example you could show us, Tim?
Yeah, I'm getting that ready right now for you guys. I have to turn my green screen off, and hopefully I don't mess Emoto up too bad with all this stuff.
Yeah,
Tim is going to show us
add you.
a real one via webcam real quick here.
So this is my development cabinet here, and as you can see, the Electric Magic device is currently down.
Let me make it bigger real quick. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
I can see Emoto frantically like resizing the window on my side here. There it goes.
I got a solution for that. Hold on. There we go.
Now everyone, I'm gonna go watch the computer too because I want to see this thing in real life.
All right, Tim, you're good.
Okay, so you can see from the top of the playfield, I have the device actually moving freely up and down. This is just by my hand. So if we come over to the bottom side of the playfield, you can see that this is a single direction motor that's moving this rod, which lifts the playfield up. But currently the motor is not engaged, so it freely moves. This means if the ball were to get stuck on it, the device would actually say, oh, we never hit the bottom switch position. Let me just continue to move back up. It'll move back up. The ball will get free, and then it will come back down again. I'm sorry for the poor angle. I'm trying to do a lot of stuff here at once.
Everyone's saying, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, that's neat. Man, Elliot is incredible.
He is.
And then so when it actually comes down here underneath, the ball will never fall into the cabinet or anything. It's completely guarded while it's in here, so it's never going to fall and roll around in the cabinet. So it can come down, be actually removed from the playfield underneath, and then come back up. So that's
cool. Oh, sorry, I never clicked over. Okay.
And so this is the underside. There's a magnet in here. And then when we go back up top, let me see if my angle is good. No, it's terrible. I'm so sorry about this. Let me move my playfield back down for a second, and I can show you it in the up position.
That's fine.
Hey, there it is. Coke Zero.
It's like a sponsored stream.
Brand placement. Yeah, I know. I think it's funny. Like you called it unjammable, Steve. That's kind of challenge accepted. I mean, it's we'll see how long it stays unjammable for.
It'll be unjammable. I mean, there's no way the ball can get stuck in there, and also if the ball's on top of it, the device will just come up and push the ball off. There's nowhere for the ball to get jammed. So if I actually go ahead here, I'll show you this actually in the test. So let's say the ball is there and I just lowered it a little bit so it could get stuck. Oh no. Okay.
It's unjammable.
See, now it's there, and now it just came back up. So now it properly went down. So that's what happens. It's just that was like 3/4 of a second. It was there for a little bit. It came right back out.
Yeah, the speed that it moves up and down is good. It's nice. It comes up fast. It goes down fast.
I noticed that. There's little chance of it like launching and rocketing the ball up into the glass or anything.
Yeah, it's
so smooth, too.
It's not going to ever do that, I don't think. But
Really
it's just nice to have it come up quickly because you can shoot it sooner. That's it.
So we have proven it is basically unjammable. So it's incredible. Something operators and home players themselves will enjoy. Very neat. I can't stop watching the promo footage over here. It's just it's just so cool. I did see Jack Danger playing his LE last night or the night before. So time has compressed for me. I have no idea what day it is even today. But it was really cool to watch that thing fly. I'm so excited to touch every version of this game. So
Coming soon.
Coming very soon.
Coming soon, TM. So I guess let's move on to some software stuff then really quick, Tim. We have a 10-band software equalizer. So we've got a little more versatility with tuning of sound, correct?
This isn't a brand new feature with Led Zeppelin, but we've decided to make it the default filtering option on the sound. So this is actually outside of what I do. This is going to our systems engineering team, which is Mark Guidarelli, who handles all the really, really important software. I'm just working in the game land. I'm working on Led Zeppelin, and he does stuff that supports everyone. So that's everything from the diagnostics to, on the node boards and the actually managing like how like all the super complex stuff happens when you power on the game, power off the game, and hit the game, that sort of thing. And then I just work at Game Land, where I'm free to play around la-di-da, and he makes sure all the stuff actually works.
I've got lists miles long for Guido to put my own touches into the back end of the games, but he has more important things to work on than making it so the replay, the high scores last for so many games, moves down quicker than it currently does. I understand. He's got more important things to code than my requests. But yeah, no, it is incredible. The support team, I mean, they deserve a lot of kudos for everything they do with this system. It's pretty brilliant. But I don't know, let's talk through some software stuff, Tim. I'm very curious. I noticed a couple new lighting effects, or maybe they're not new. Maybe it's just something I noticed only on this game. But I do notice that some of the RGB light boards do have flashers on them now, or has that been something for a while? I just haven't paid attention.
Yeah, so we have underneath the 4 band member symbol inserts, they're the large circles on the playfield. There's a lamp board. So when you look at the underneath, you're just going to see a big black square.
A big black square.
But there's bulbs, LED bulbs mounted on it. So there's a red bulb, green bulb, a blue bulb, and a flasher bulb. Mm-hmm. They're all super tiny. They're really small, these LEDs.
It's incredible.
That's just our electrical engineering team lays out these lamp boards. They custom design them. Okay. They lay them out, and this isn't something new. Actually, Deadpool had an insert that had both an RGB and a flasher underneath it, and it's something we've always been able to do. But when we really want something to have a lot of impact, like we did with these band member and symbol inserts and the multiplier feature, it helps to put all of that stuff in there, so you get the color as well as the flash to really grab your attention. It's cool.
I don't remember what I did, but I mean, it was in a dark room and the music was really loud, and it just kind of took me by surprise. I was like, whoa, that's cool.
That's supposed to convey a sense of urgency because your multiplier is currently running and you don't want to waste the opportunity to shoot multiplied shots.
I wish you were there to tell me how to play.
So it's supposed to grab your attention. It sounds like it did.
It did.
Made his heart beat. Yeah.
It's exciting. The wiring on this game also is quite tight. It's very pleasing to watch the wiring harness. Whoever did that did a good job too.
Yeah, the cable design is super important. I think that's Reina Cortez and Jim Sherd who do the cable design. Is that correct, Steve?
Yeah, they both do, and they're both great at it.
Yeah, and they do it for every single game, and it's a lot of, you have to keep track, make sure every connector is unique, so there's no way you can mess it up when you install it.
We move the goalposts real often, add stuff. Can we have this now? Can we have that now? How much current can we draw? And they do a great job, and they're pretty tolerant of the progression. And it's like, and that's what it is. Every game is a progression. It should get a chance to evolve, and so that you don't. The first pass of anything anyone ever does is usually not that good. Second gets a little better. The third, the fourth, and the 150,000 is going to be pretty decent.
Yeah, and without them, I'm dead meat because I have no way to communicate to this games. And as we're trying stuff and moving stuff around, and I go, oh, thanks for doing this, but now I don't want it this that way anymore. They're the ones who have to go clean up and do that all over again.
Yeah, this is good, but do it again. Yeah, no, that's it. The development process for these games, I mean, they're just so complex. I'm sure everyone here understands that the thing that makes pinball magic is that it's actually a physical thing. You are actually physically doing something. Whereas, you know, in video games, if you've got something you don't like, you tweak the software. Now, I'm not saying that tweaking software isn't a lot of work, but when it comes to prototyping things like this, it's you know, you're making permanent decisions. And if you need to shift your ramp wireform over 3 millimeters to the right, you know, that's probably another version of prototyping. So I can only imagine what the prototyping lab is like at the factory.
Usually takes 3 whitewoods for me to get everything together. And you're right. Yeah, when some changes can be very involved. You know, yeah, moving things around in the play field, holes in the play field. All that stuff is critical, and you know, nobody gets it right the first time. Not 100%.
Yeah, and I guess it's like funny you say it's like, yeah, it only takes me 3 tries, but you're also the guy that's been doing this for
900 years. 900.
Yeah, exactly. 900 years today, actually. So that's pretty incredible. Yeah,
hey, Kyle, before we go on, can we do another giveaway real quick?
Let's do some giveaways. That's fun. I'll put the play field back down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so wait, what happened with the first raffle ticket?
Paul accepted it. And
Excellent.
So we're going to do our second raffle ticket. This is our last Project Pinball raffle ticket. And then later on, after Steve and Tim leave, Daniel Spoiler is going to come on the show, and then he's going to actually do the real drawing. So for the raffle ticket that we have right now, we're going to select from all these names, drop it in my random generator.
To make sure I asked all the questions I wanted to. Let's see.
Yep, Alan Skorvek won a banner. He was the last one. And then this is for a raffle ticket. Got everyone in, including y'all asking in the chat. You have been verified. And the winner is, for the raffle ticket to the raffle, is Lori Hance. So Lori, if you are here, go ahead and let me know in the chat. You have some time to respond. I'm going to put your name up here, and we will continue our show. So congratulations, Lori Hance. You have a chance to win a limited edition game from Project Pinball.
How exciting.
It's pretty exciting. All right, starting another timer. Okay. That was your commercial break. Are you ready, Kyle?
I don't know. My mouth is getting dry now. I feel like I wish I had water so I could just take a sip. We've kind of touched on this, but since this has been a sensitive, or not sensitive, but something you've wanted for some time, Steve, was this daunting to you? As being a guy who has been making pinball machines for 900 years, was there something, you know, anxiety-inducing about actually doing Led Zeppelin?
I'm not exactly sure what you said, but Led Zeppelin has always been, you know, a lot of people think of Led Zeppelin as the best band in the world. Actually, I saw them twice live, and I had been in many bands, and it's like, I sort of agree. They are the best rock band that ever lived. That's what I think. And many other people think so too. So, I don't know. It kind of drove everything. And I was like, it blew my mind that we got it, you know. And I was super surprised that it actually happened, and because it never happened before. And it was always like an elusive license to grab. I'm not sure I'm answering your question, but
no, you think you did.
Bad ears of mine.
Are you ever intimidated to work on a large license like Led Zeppelin? That might be.
I'm the intimidator. I intimidate people. Okay.
You're right.
I'm not intimidated by anything like that. I mean, I don't get all starstruck. Like, you know, I've done some cool licenses, especially Star Trek: The Next Generation. It was like, you know, it turned around from something disgusting where they told us, 3 ladies told us, well, you can have the license, but you can't fire phasers or photon torpedoes. And I go, well, I guess we're not doing this license because you can't be hypocritical about what's involved in the show. And also, we understand the prime directive. We're not going to just, blatantly attack people or, give our technology, which is so advanced, to all these other, aliens and whatever. And anyway, we left. And Roger Sharp was the licensing guy at Williams. And he called them up and he said, what can we do to salvage this? And at the other end, the guy said, just come back. We have one person now in charge of licensing instead of 3. And her name was Susie Dominic. I'll never forget this, okay? And they threw the doors open for everything, which is never going to happen again, I don't think.
Wow.
It happened on AC/DC, but for Star Trek The Next Generation, wow, getting the voices of every member of the cast. And some people didn't do as much or weren't into it, but we could build stories and conversations and situations. And I would love to do that again, but not with that group, of course. It's something that, I don't know. I'm not intimidated by any licensor, really. I'd be happy to meet with them, and I'm not going to get all nervous and pee my pants or anything. It's just not going to happen.
I think we could probably speak for a 2-hour show just talking about Star Trek The Next Generation, and I would like to do that one day.
That's not this show.
Okay,
but not this show.
Day, but not today.
I love opening up the WPC emulator and loading up the special ROMs that they did for all the people in the show, where it would say, good shot, Michael, for Michael Dorn's copy of the game. I love that. It's super funny. Anyways, past Star Trek, that's my other obsession. We can not talk about that now. Where were we? I need to recalibrate my thoughts.
Well, have we talked about the awesome song list? Can we just let everyone know what the song list is for those who don't know?
Yeah, let these guys say it, because they probably know it by heart.
I have a graphic for that somewhere.
I've got the graphic
Good Times, Bad Times, Communication Breakdown, Whole Lotta Love, Immigrant Song, Cashmere, Black Dog, Ramble On, Rock and Roll, Trampled Underfoot, and the song remains the same.
So you were just reading the back panel of the PIM. Oh, yeah, you are right there. Oh, come on.
Yeah, so if anyone's wondering what Kyle's doing over there smelling the pinball machine, it's actually on the back panel right there. So you'll never forget which songs you can choose from. Oh, let me go to your hand.
And it's also on the card at the bottom.
Oh, it's on the card
right.
as well. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
The premium model and the LE model both have song titles in the back panel that light up as you get them. For the Pro, we put it on the LCD screen.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I kind of like that. It's a good mix of the music, right? I'm glad that the music comes from a span of 4 or 5 albums instead of just we're just gonna do Houses of the Holy. No, it's you have songs from every album, and the selection of the song on the LCD is really fun. How it kind of emulates an old, a jukebox, flipping the pages of the albums that you can choose. That's fun. Okay. The LCD, English just left my brain.
Set list. Yeah.
The displays on the LCD, my gosh, I can't speak English anymore. It's very interesting. It's very unique, right? A combination of animation, a combination of footage from the band playing, and just stills, right? That looked like it was probably a ton of fun to put together, looking through all sorts of old footage to make something cohesive while you're playing the game. I just have to say, I really have to always give props to the people in the animation and the visual department at Stern right now, because the animated stuff on all the games have just been incredible. From Deadpool, Batman forward, right? Every game that's used an LCD.
They have an incredible challenge because they have to make every game look good and every game look different, all in such a short time frame.
Sure. And how big is that team? It has been expanding considerably, right?
The total number of people maybe around 10 at this point, a combination of people who work there full-time, part-time, contractors. It's whatever we need. When we need to do a certain style, we might hire someone to help with a certain style of video or animation or something. So it could change pretty dynamically.
The word I was looking for when my brain was not working was assets.
Assets,
Lots
yeah.
of assets.
Yes, awesome assets. It always comes in right when I don't need it anymore. Yeah, it's fun. I would like to, we do plan on streaming some gameplay footage. We will be playing this game. It will not be today. It'll probably be sometime next week. We will figure out how to get around the big concern with copyright stuff currently, but it will be fun. It's a very fun game to shoot. I'm very much looking forward to that. Tim, I might need some pointers though. I'll have to listen to your podcast you did explaining the rules. But what are some of the features, what are some things that you tried in this game and that when you got it into the game and you shot the game, you were just like, oh yeah, that's it?
The first thing I want to say is the best way to learn the rules of any game is to play the game. And talking about it doesn't do it justice. So
it doesn't.
You have to have that association between this and this. And I think it's fun to learn the rules by playing the game. So
absolutely. There are some people that really eat that kind of content up, though. A lot of people really want to hear every way to do everything. It goes over my head. I need to play the game to learn some stuff. But yeah.
So one of the new things to talk about, and some people don't like talking about the rules too much in depth, but I could keep it pretty simple, is first looking at the play field. Well, there's something I've been thinking about, and I try to play a lot of games and see what the latest trends in games are in game design and everything, try to reverse engineer other stuff and see how it might work in pinball. And I wanted to do something where multipliers weren't necessarily done by a whole number. It wasn't necessarily 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. And was using the 10th digit to say, what happens if you do a 1.2x multiplier? And you have to do some funny math to make sure the score still ends with the 0. But, once you get past that, I kind of was looking at just the play field just from the drawing. When I first saw it, before I started working on the whitewood, I was like, this looks like it's going to be a really combo heavy game, but there's also a ton of targets, and I want it to be fun to hit both of them. So the rule I came up with was like, what if there's a multiplier system just entirely based around combos and ending those combos into targets, so you lose your combo, but you build something else on that, and that became the multiplier rule. And then I had this idea for a long time to do some sort of not whole number multiplier thing, and we had the 4 band members, and they all have to work together. That's kind of like part of their whole band, is everyone's got to be together. So I was like, well, I can associate each one with a target bank, build the combos into those targets, and then when you have all 4 of them lit, you hit the Icarus target, leaps up to the air, starts your multiplier feature. And then on the back end, and you can check this at instant info if you want, but don't even worry about it. Just hit the shots. Look at the color for it. It changes from green throughout the color spectrum. The higher it is, you start it, and then it shows up on your display, hey, 3.2x multiplier. That means your whole playfield is 3.2 times higher than your normal scoring.
As somebody
Decimals are so difficult. Decimals and fractions. Oh my gosh.
Here's the thing. The game does all the math for you. So all you have to do is say 3 is bigger. 3.2 is bigger than 2.4. That's.
We want that.
You're like, okay, and then you keep hitting more combos. You're like, oh, now it's 4.6. That's even better. So it just keeps building. So, and also, anytime you start it, you're gonna have 1 point something. It's gonna be higher than 1. So when your multiplier is running, your scoring is higher. That's the simple of it. And you can shoot your side ramp to build the timer before you start it, and you can shoot the side ramp or the target on the pro to extend the timer while the multiplier is running.
Okay, there you go. See, there's a pro tip. That's the little bit of knowledge that I just need to be force-fed to enhance my abilities. One thing I have to say is the inserts are very communicative on this game. I do like the way the RGB inserts at the entrances to all of the main shots, and the way that the combo lights pop on. I think that's really cool use of real estate. It really, some games try to communicate with you via voice. This game communicates very well via the playfield lights. And with a game this fast, you don't really want to be looking up at your display ever, really, either. Again, this is from someone who is moderately okay at pinball. I was kind of getting the hang of it pretty quick. One of the big bosses here at Marco, Nancy, said she was having a very good time playing this game, and she was very proud of her 20-something million point score. She was, I think,
Nancy.
It's good for all of us, people of all skill levels. I want to play it very badly right now. Sitting here leaning up against it is really giving me a hankering to start flipping. But, yeah, I'm trying to think of other clever questions to ask about the software. But really, it comes down to people you really just have to play to see what's going on. The bonus system is very trick. It's fun.
The games are meant to be played. Talking about them, that's secondary. You got to play the game. And like I said, we'll all be back playing games eventually, and Marco will be back at shows with us. We'll have a whole setup of Led Zeppelins. Your local places will get them, and as places are able to reopen, you'll have the chance to play, I'm sure, at some local arcades and, safely play them distance and everything. So I wish it would happen like it did in the past, where we had these launch parties and everyone kind of went like, oh yeah, we can all play the game. It's not like that anymore, but it'll be back. It'll be fun.
You will enjoy it.
And I would like to give a shout out to Mark and Nancy and Paul Nameltord. It's pretty cool. I love them, but it's like my wife and Nancy communicate often. I think it's great. And it's interesting. Nancy, and I also want to. What's that?
No, I was just gonna say Nancy is very fun to communicate with.
Yeah.
Every conversation with Nancy is a treat.
Yeah, they're all good people. I don't know anybody at Marco Spec that isn't a good person.
Oh.
My heart.
So I would love to open up the chat to. Yeah. You guys have been putting in some questions, but we're gonna be more Q&A style, integrating y'all's questions. But to start off with that, I just want to know very simply, what was each of yours favorite part about the game? So Tim,
I guess my favorite part is, I don't know, shooting with music. It's like with that music, just playing and making shots and have these time things happen, like when you light extra ball, when you get extra ball, it's like, I don't know, it's fun, it's big. And the electric magic unit, when I'm playing a premium Marnelli, I'm going to get that. But Tim, what do you say?
I think for me, when the game got to the point where I would play it and I was just like getting lost in it, like, oh, this is just pinball fun. You just shoot the ball and cool stuff like. That's what I wanted it to be, and that's what it is. So
and it really conveys that, right? Like what I was trying to say with the way how communicative the inserts are, it really is. It has very good choreography to it. I mean, the way that when you hit a lit shot or an important shot, and the way that the lights reaffirm that you did the right thing, and the sounds are all just right on point. It's very. I like the sonic explosion that is this game, but the noises really don't detract away from the awesome song that you are listening to. It's a treat. It really is a treat. So just remember, when you do get one on location, make sure that the proprietor or operator turns the dang thing up, because it will make your experience that much better. Sorry.
There's another thing that I like about the game too. This is kind of special. It's like multi-ball is lit and ready to rock from the very first moment of the game, awesome. First plunge. And all you have to do is make 3 shots and get into multi-ball quickly. It's one multi-ball. It's Zeppelin multi-ball, and it's on the inside ramp. That just shoot it and get to multi-ball quickly. Other things will happen after that.
You can backhand that ramp very. If you hit it just right, you can backhand that ramp and you can nail that multi-ball right away, and it just starts the thing off in an explosion. It's fun. Anyways, let's let Ben ask questions.
I can tell you played the game, Kyle, just from you saying that.
He was playing. We were trying to set up cameras.
You can tell someone's flipped the game when they talk about how cool it is to backhand that ramp.
You can backhand the right ramp, too, which is also very fun if you can get it to work.
Yeah. Well, this is a good question for Tim. This was directed specifically to you from Pinball Nerds Podcast. Asked, is it true that this machine has more flow than Niagara Falls?
I have been to Niagara Falls. Wow. One of the natural wonders of the world.
I had to ask.
Yeah, it does. I think it does.
It really does. It's very smooth and it's very quick. I mean, it is Steve RItchie's signature.
Nice. And then
there's an American side to the falls, a Canadian side to the falls. This is the British side to the Niagara Falls. This is the
What? Wait, which side have you visited? Do you visit both sides at once?
You can see both at once, yes. You should go visit someday. It's a great place to visit in the United States and Canada.
Is there a better side? Like the view is better on one side?
Yeah, the Canadian falls are the more impressive ones, but the New York side's cool.
That's cool. Cool. So we had another question from Ras of Age 4, and they asked, what lessons were learned from previous rock pins? Anything you knew you wanted to include into Led Zeppelin, and anything you knew that you definitely didn't want to include?
Lessons from previous rock pins. Steve's worked on previous rock pins. The lesson learned is that they rock. They tend to be the pinball machines that people come back to and they want to play over and over again. They really drive to that core pinball experience. That's just what I noticed. I've seen people previously as a player pan some of the games, and then I find games like AC/DC and Metallica, I can't get enough of those games. And Aerosmith, Iron Maiden, we've done a lot of rock games, and they're all games that I come back to and play over and over again. That's the lesson, is that music games are fun.
Yeah, they've got really broad appeal. I mean, and just so happens that the games are also great. I mean, the distributor I worked at for years, I think we sold more AC/DC Lucy's than any other pinball machine for years. It is just such a good selling game. A game that, I mean, how many times have you guys run AC/DC too? What, that 2013 game?
Oh yeah, Steve knows that they've been making AC/DC pretty much the whole time he's come back to Stern.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And so this next question is for Steve. Maybe Tim, you can help me out on that. But did you have a mock-up design for Zeppelin when you approached the licensee initially?
The first times you wanted to do Led Zeppelin, did you ever have designs you wanted to do when you asked for it at Atari or Williams?
No, I didn't have any design ideas before. I mean, I just thought I could build a good game around it. They would have been different, I'm sure. But no, I mean, I never actually thought of all the things I did think of one thing, but it's not worth bringing up. And I don't know. It's I guess that's how it is. They would be different.
Yeah, for sure. This is a great question for both of you. The question of the hour, really. So, what do you think makes you such a successful duo?
What makes us a successful duo? Count it in, Steve.
Well, 1, 2, 3.
We get along or else.
They practiced that a few times this morning. This afternoon.
No,
great.
that was all.
It's harder to do it with the latency.
if one of us wants to do something bad enough, it's probably going to be pretty good. That's about it, so we don't really, sometimes we'll come up with something and just go, well, that didn't work, no big deal, but, give and take, that's it. And we are what I would call the battery, the pitcher and the catcher, and that's it. And we have to get everything else right. And decide what we're going to do and pass that on to everyone else in the team. Other people on the team, though, certainly get to opportunities to be creative. If they would have stuck what I drew for the electric magic unit in the game, it would have been awful. Okay. We would have had to go through 5 iterations. Instead, we handed it off to Elliot, and he comes up with his brilliant method, and it's awesome. So everybody gets to contribute. John Rothermel, Rob Blakeman, so many people. Chuck White, he's a contributor too. You can't say, how do you want to try this? We went through spotlight problems on the topper, and it's like, now we have a topper with spotlights that rotate, and that you can do all kinds of stuff. And I don't know, it's brighter than, it's just, it's a nice team, and it's all give and take. That's it.
And that's the important thing, right? It's a team effort. It's not just all from the mind of Steve RItchie. No, it's everybody.
Now, people call it Steve RItchie games, but they're never Steve RItchie games. I'm the designer. I try to steer the ship, but a lot of great people's great work is in that game you're leaning on right there. It's like so many people. I can't take the whole credit for anything really, except I'm not ashamed of what we did, and I like that we've been able to, physically create the things we thought of. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, Tim, another comparison for you. What was more difficult to code, Black Knight, Sword of Rage, or Led Zeppelin?
It's an interesting question. Well, part of anytime I code something, I think I try to get better. This is, my job. I've been a software engineer since I started going to school for it and working at IBM before I came here. So that part of it, I don't know, there's this great meme. I'm sorry to describe a meme on the air. There's like a junior programmer trying to kickflip and then falling down. And then there's senior programmer doing all this crazy trick, grinding on a rail, and then he also falls down. So, you attempt more difficult stuff, but yeah, I would say that I'm glad I had the domain knowledge I had, and while it gets easier, there's always work to do to keep yourself relevant to what's the latest in software, languages, technology that's out there, and there's always challenges to keep up with the latest in game design. Those are the challenges there. So I want it to be an ongoing thing. This does not answer that question at all. What was easier? But I don't know how to answer that question. I'm saying it's a
an
constant
abstract measurement, huh?
journey.
I love your answer. Yeah. It's a good response.
It's something I want to put a lot of heart into.
I guess that's the thing too, right? There are still tweaks and things to come to this game, where Black Knight has had a little more time to mature. You won't be able to really give an answer to that question until both of them are done. I'm sure everyone in software likes to hear the word, it's done, right?
I have an analogy for that. Well, it's like...
Oh, yeah. We love your analogies, Tim. Let's hear it.
I built a bridge. Is it done? Well, it should hold itself up for a couple of years, but you have to paint it and maintain it and all sorts of stuff. It's, engineering is tough, I'll say.
Yes.
There's a lot of what's amazing about pinball, I think, so you look at Steve's career, and I like to look at Steve's career because I'm at a different point in my career. Steve was working on games when games were totally different than what they are today, but they're still pinball, right? From what Steve started working on at Atari, games like Superman, to what Steve works on today with Led Zeppelin, we still consider that a pinball machine. But look at all the incredible changes in technology that have happened since then. You know, so stuff we take for granted, like stereo sound, that wasn't possible. Speech, that wasn't possible. There's just an endless number of things like that have been totally different. You know, you couldn't even get the power on the flippers the way you can now. You couldn't do a lot of stuff. You can't, you know, have all of these lamps we have in our games. There's just a million things that have changed, so you just have to keep up with that.
Yeah, no, it is amazing.
So Emoto just brought up a question about who picked the songs. And I think I picked like 8 of them, and
Nice.
Jody, I think, picked the other 2.
They're great.
I'm not going to say which one.
Everyone in the chat was wondering. So
it's pretty hard to make everyone happy, but I think we got a good group of songs that people like.
Yep,
it's beautiful. That's awesome that you got to pick it. I think that's just what everyone was wondering, you know, were you like, you had to use these ones or did you get to pick it? So that's cool. You did. So good choices for sure. Hey, Kyle. So we're getting close to the end of our stream already. Sheesh. We've almost been with y'all for 2 hours and we appreciate your time. Kyle, did you have any other questions you wanted to ask before we let these gentlemen leave and maybe start celebrating their New Year's Eve?
I mean, yeah.
Alone, sitting on the couch.
Could probably continue talking to these guys for double digits in hours, but if we are almost done, then no, I don't think I have any other questions. They'll start rambling.
10 minutes. What about you, Tim and Steve? Is there anything that you felt like you really wanted to say on the stream right now? We have, over 300 people watching.
Whoa.
Excited about this game. Excited to play it soon.
I've brought it up a million times already, but I'm just excited to get to see people play the game and enjoy it. That's what it is. Just seeing people play the games. That's the reward of this job, I think, to me. That's why I love doing it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But we don't get to see many people play it. We've gotten to see more than most people have, but it's like, I don't know, a lifetime goal to get the game, and it's to get Led Zeppelin, and that's really cool. And I don't know, I want to shout out to Emoto and Kyle also, and Marcos Beck. This was great and fun. I like how you put things together. It's also, for a deaf guy like me to be able to participate, it's awesome. And I thank you.
You did great.
Thank you.
And my captions turned off on Zoom, and you still did great. So good job.
Yeah, I'm glad that was just a free trial.
No, we thank you. Okay, I do have one more question. This will be a good, hopeful cliffhanger and a transition. But what is next for Steve RItchie and Tim Sexton?
It's like this. It's NUN, none, and then YA, Nunya, and then beeswax, Nunya beeswax.
All right, that's the kind of answer I was hoping for.
No, I don't want to be rude. We can't talk about that. We just don't ever do that at Stern. We don't, what's next is, I'm very excited. It's a great license.
All right. No, that's the cliffhanger we're looking for, is the next thing to look forward to. While most people haven't even gotten to enjoy this, there's more in store, so.
Well.
Tim, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, Tim.
Oh, the next thing to look forward to is the world returning to normal, pinball tournaments and shows returning for those of us involved in this great hobby, and continuing to support each other through this time with these great Zoom presentations and all sorts of things.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we're excited to have you back whenever that may be.
Thanks. Happy to be here. This was great. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank
Very
you all
nice.
so much
Thank you.
for joining us. And you can feel free to sign off. We're going to keep doing some giveaways for everyone, but you guys go and enjoy your last day of 2020. And I hope 2021 is amazing for y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. See you.
Bye.
All right, take care. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye, Tim.
Bye.
I'm going to hide my screen too. I got to do a layout adjustment, and we're going to bring in Daniel Spoler.
You're going to leave me here just standing
Yeah,
leaning
why
against
don't you tell people what we're doing?
I'm
just kidding.
I'm not as good at that. I'm dumb. All I know how to do is
another
fix pinball
raffle real
machines.
quick. We're gonna do a raffle for We're gonna do a giveaway for the other Led Zeppelin banner. So how about you can now pick up that Led Zeppelin banner and show them all the glory.
Let me unwrap
of it.
this one.
Reset up some stuff.
I think what I need to do is when we go and start working on the flash that I have in this room, we need Steve RItchie to come back in and tell us about flash. Straight from the man's mouth.
Yeah, it would be really cool to do just like a Steve RItchie, not game specific, and even Tim, just talking to them about pinball in general. Wow, that's a pretty raffle. Who wants to win this raffle? I do.
You get to see Icarus about to lose his wings.
Does everyone have their names in?
What?
Does anyone else need the link, or you guys good?
What can I lay this on?
And then after this, we're going to go right into, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. 2 people are going to get Led Zeppelin limited edition games tonight. Like, what?
That's so rad. Lucky.
Oh, man. I should have told my parents to sign up for the raffle, too. We missed out.
Well, I mean, I did tell my dad, if he's watching, gotta act faster, man.
It sounds like I'm rearranging my actual desktop. No, Magic did a Y.
It's a lot of clicks.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in and watching. It's always fun to talk with these awesome people from Stern. And thanks for joining in on our funny little show here. So, 300 people. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so, oh my gosh. Kyle, you know what we forgot?
Nope.
We forgot this. Wait. Hold on.
What?
We forgot.
Well, my hair is so long. This is crazy.
We forgot our free shipping code for our domestic customers. 24 free shipping domestic for orders over $99. Use code PT-Icarus in all caps.
Yep.
And you can get a nice little, $9-10 off of your domestic shipping.
If that's the reason you tuned into the show this week, don't worry, it's still here. If you didn't get everything you needed on Black Friday or on Christmas, here's your chance. The exciting part of our show is letting everyone get free shipping for joining us. Yeah, that's fun. I love talking to Steve. It's fun. Every time I've talked to Steve prior, most of them were, they're always at pinball shows, right? And they're so loud, and I can barely hear, and Steve has trouble hearing. It's fun to be able to speak with him without all the commotion of everything going on behind us, right? So he's a trooper for coming on and doing a live interview, even with the
He did so good.
I know, he's great.
It was so awesome talking
for a long
with him.
time, people have always wanted to interview Steve, but he really doesn't like to give interviews, I don't blame him. It's tough. I've got hearing loss, not quite as on the same level as Steve, but I get it. He did a great job. Happy to have him.
All right. Is everyone ready for our giveaway for the banner?
Yeah, can I sit now? My
Lauren
ankle's
Gray, I just posted the link.
Lauren Gray's here. Hi, Lauren.
By the way, hi, Lauren. You're awesome. And we love Backbox Pinball Podcast. And, I guess I could come in real quick. Don't forget, everybody. Don't forget that tomorrow starts the TWIPY 2020 voting on This Week in Pinball. So you will be able to go to thisweekinpinball.com and vote for the top 10-ish nominees from each category for the 2020 season. So Good luck, everyone. There's a lot of great names. And, we have so much awesome pinball content and stuff, too. And everyone does such a great job. So if you don't see yourself in that drop down list, maybe next year, but we still love everything you do.
And shame on everybody who went there and wrote our name in. Shame on you.
Yeah, because that like 20 votes could have helped someone else get a little up to that top 10. Yeah,
well,
we told you
maybe
not
next
to.
year we'll be better at what we do. And then maybe we deserve a place, but come on.
We'll see. we got a long ways to go to making our stuff a little bit more professional. So I'm gonna do the giveaway. Everyone's in. Everyone's in.
It already makes me anxious enough being on camera. I never volunteered for this job. Come on.
Yeah, but you own it so well.
I try. Sort of. It's the pinball games that give me confidence.
Oh, we just got. Oh. I just see them keep popping in. This is hilarious. I do think this giveaway route is better than what we were doing before.
What were we doing before again?
So before, when we sent out our newsletter blast about the show, we let everyone sign up. And then when I was picking people's names, it would be like 10 people and they couldn't make it. You know, maybe they had work or something like that.
Yeah. I remember now.
So now they're here and now they're filling them out.
But they're not filling them out fast enough.
Yeah, hopefully everyone stuck around from the beginning.
What games are in the background? I'll build some time. You can't see it. Right over here. What camera is this? Oh, that's
here. You want me to give you a wide real quick?
I don't know. Just change.
I don't know. This guy. Hold on, wait. Watch this.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
There. All right, let's all look at Kyle's collection.
No. We don't want to see that. I just want to show this off. We've had this lovely Dale Jr. here in a box since 2000, whenever the heck the game. I think this one was like dated 2007. I just took it out of the box a couple weeks ago, and it's just really fun to have like a brand new 13-year-old pinball game. I love NASCAR. I don't know if any of y'all have ever played NASCAR, but it's a really good game. The Dale Jr. version is it's very shiny and special, but NASCAR, good game. Very happy to have it here. Fun to play. Excited to add Led Zeppelin to our little line of games back here.
Finally.
What?
We get a Stern game in the background.
I know, finally. We Stern. All of our Stern games, they sell so quick. Every time we okay, we're going to put this game in the office so we can play it. And then someone comes in and they're like, I want that one. Oh, fine, okay. So now we actually have a game to keep here for some time. It just so happens to be really handsome. So that'll live probably where the shadow is, because the shadow is being sold. So we'll be able to put Led Zeppelin back here.
All right, so I'm doing my random drawing for the Led Zeppelin banner. Kyle, hold up that banner again, because it's hilarious when you do. And the winner is Renee Cross. So if Renee, you're in here, let's get a hoorah, something in the chat, smiley face. Renee Cross, congratulations. So let us know if you're in here. If not, I will pick another name. Renee, you're here! Yay! My giveaway thing is working. I always get so scared. Awesome, Renee. Well, send us your shipping address to marcotv@marcopinball.com.
Good job.
I will put that in the chat as well. That's awesome. And Dan is on the line, so we're going to jump over and add him in and then see who wins these Elise. And then we're going to all celebrate the last few.
I like what Alan Smith on Facebook says. Retheme it to Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. There's just so much Dale. It's funny how much specific stuff they did for this LE, right? I mean, it's got a totally different playfield than NASCAR, artwork-wise. The plastics are unique. Almost all of them are. It's kind of cool. One of the first LEs, before Stern really did an LE of every game.
That NASCAR's an LE?
Yeah, the Dale Jr. is a limited edition, one of the first.
Oh. Thank you, It's Lit Pinball, for the emote. Oh, that's so cute.
It's funny because there's so many people here now. Whoa, hey, thanks, man. I'm glad you are here. Oh, wow, look at all those people I know who just got subs. Fliptronic, The Phils.
Here we go.
Mystery Pinball Theater 3000.
Yay! Thanks for joining us, everyone. Some of my favorite streamers right there. Okay, let me get in. I gotta do some tweaking.
And then we get to talk with Daniel, who just finished another long tour.
Who's not in his office today. He looks like he's in a house, like a southern house.
How many stops did? Well, I guess we'll wait for him to show up.
Oh wait, is this the right one? Yeah, okay, this is the right one. All right. Keep talking, Kyle.
Daniel dedicated 2 pinball machines in our state here in South Carolina. One at the Columbia Children's Hospital and another one in Charleston. Are you here, Dan? Can you hear?
Hold on.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, he's here. Hold on. We're going to switch over in 2 seconds.
Maybe you saw the pictures of the stubby Star Wars. That was probably my favorite picture I've seen of a pinball game.
Oh, yeah, the short legs.
I would have to play that with like my knees. That would be hard.
All right, Dan, you are live, so no picking your nose or anything like that. Everyone's watching. And
That's
we have
fine.
all been
Let me adjust my hat.
Yeah, we've been all waiting for this moment. It's really exciting. How many times have you guys actually done a limited edition game? I mean, that's not as common as the others, right?
Too numerous to even count. We never actually thought to count that, so thank you. But if we could get limited edition machines, we hop on that chance to give something special away. We were able to get 2 Led Zeppelin LEs early, and here we go. We were able to sell out 2 of them so people could win it. So we're super happy.
Awesome.
So
Everyone in the chat is saying hi, Daniel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Happy New Year
Dan
to
is the
everybody.
man.
But I was listening in, and Steve and Tim, they were just
Weren't they so great?
so exciting. Tim really took off just talking about the rules, even though he didn't want to, but Kyle pushed him. He went there.
A little bit.
It was great to see.
And if anyone really wants to hear that deep dive in the rules, Tim and Jeff Chiolis did a great talk on Pinball Profile.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Kind of like it goes through all of that and stuff. So
Okay, thank you for telling me.
Yeah,
You guys were doing a great job.
I love how excited they are for this game. It really shows.
Oh, you could definitely tell. Just listen to them. It was just a great show. You guys did a great job. Cal, you did a great job as well. Even though you might be shy, it doesn't show because your excitement's there for everybody else that's behind, on their keyboards and what have you. So good job, Cal.
Thank you.
Kyle's always like, he doesn't know what to expect because he doesn't really see the chat. So he just hopes that I'll let him know what's going on.
And I'm always too scared to watch it afterwards. So I always just tell Moto, it's like, what did people say?
I know. Yeah, everyone throw Kyle emotes in the Twitch chat because we love him.
But yes, I'm not in my office. I want to take some downtime. We did just get off the road on December 15th, and you could still hear my voice is a little stressed out from being on the road, but we achieved something really great that we were hoping that other people could relate to. And I know Kyle was saying that he was super happy about the 2 machines that we were able to place in South Carolina. So are we. We had such great support over the years, and we had a couple false starts, but this year it all came together. They wanted it to happen. Even with COVID and
despite all
stuff like that, we made it ultra safe. We were COVID-free in the beginning. We were COVID-free during, and I took 2 tests since I've been back, and we're COVID-free still. So, we achieved everything that we wanted to. We placed 7 machines. I'm thinking of 2021, so I let the cat on the bag. But yes, we are looking to dedicate 9 machines as soon as we possibly can in 2021. So you heard it here first from me. But we did dedicate 7 machines in 15 days. So we're quite happy about that. We're receiving positive feedback already. And it was just fantastic. I want to thank Emoto for helping us present that, interviewing us on the road. Jeff Teolis also reached out to us. So thank you to everybody that supported us. But thank you to everybody out there that helps us through these raffles and, just kind donations that make this possible. So thank you. Everybody should feel good with all their help, it went to that, and we're building on 2021.
Rad.
So
Awesome.
there you go.
All right. Well, are you ready to do the drawings?
Oh, I am. I've been ready for this. And I want to thank everybody. This one sold out relatively quick. It was the first one that we did. We offered up a second one since we could get a second machine. And with Marco Pinball Specialties, they helped give us the push. And it sold out. I took a look at it like 12 hours. So thank you for all your help, and thank you to everybody that helped participate. So I have both the lists here. This is part 1, which we'll do first, and part 2. So are we ready for this?
Yep.
Let's do it.
We are ready.
Okay. So I do have all 200 balls in here, just like we always do, and this is going to make a little bit of noise. So I'm going to shake it up. I'm not going to look. I'm going to pull a lucky number out and correspond it with the very first sheet here. Then I'll put it back in, and then I'll draw on the second one. How's that?
Sounds great.
You ready?
Legit. Yeah.
And we do have the 2 names. We wrote them in here that you guys drew earlier. So they are included in here. So everybody cross their fingers, and we're going to proceed right now. So I apologize for it being noisy. Okay.
Couldn't get
I got to
silent.
find the key. I'm not looking. Okay, I got a lucky winner right here. Can everybody
Number
see
40.
it? Lucky 40.
40.
So, okay, I'm going to keep this on the table for a moment. Oh, wow.
Oh, he got it. Oh, wow. I love oh, wow.
Okay, everybody's going to recognize these people because they actually give back to the pinball community. It is actually the mod couple. They're the ones that do all the mods for the machines and everything like that. So
They made didn't they make that awesome cologne that one time?
what was it? The cologne?
Yeah, right?
I think that they did. I recall hearing about
They
that.
came with a little
But
mini.
as you can see, they were number 40. So
Wow, congratulations. The
That's
mod
awesome.
couple.
they win themselves a Led Zeppelin limited edition machine. Okay, I'm putting this back in as everybody can see.
All right.
I'm going to shake it up again.
Amazing. On the second raffle, I saw a lot of people's names I recognized too. So good luck, everybody.
I just got to keep my eyes on this computer. I can't stand there anymore.
Don't pick
And
number 40.
digging in. And we just pulled lucky 33. Did I
33.
get that right?
That is a lucky number.
33.
Oh my gosh. There's 200 balls in there and you both picked.
What was that?
7 units. Both, out of 200 balls, you got 2 double-digit numbers.
Well, one time, like Dan should have went straight to Vegas because he kept pulling like the same number over and over again.
Yeah,
It
that was back to back. Okay. I think Mark wants to know that he won.
Which Mark? Which Mark? Which Mark?
Hold on. The balls are rolling away. It looks like Nelson.
Oops.
It looks like Nelson. So we're going to contact these people. Whoops, sorry.
Mark Nelson?
Yeah.
Is that what it says?
That's what it looks like, Nelson.
Nelson.
I don't have my glasses, so I apologize.
Congratulations.
But we're going to contact you guys tomorrow on New Year's Day. Sierra just learned of this as I said it. But she's going to reach out to the mod couple and Mark Nelson. So those are our 2 winners for this evening. So thank you to everybody that joined up. We appreciate your support. And best wishes to everybody in the coming year, 2021. So
Yeah, thank you so much, Daniel. That was awesome.
Not a problem. We love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing, and have a great new year.
You too. Thank you.
You too.
I love that machine, by the way.
I do too. I kind of want it.
Yeah, what's your favorite part on it, Dan?
Well, I love the spinner that they were showing with the magnet. I think that's great. I love Circus Voltaire for the disappearing pop bumper.
Yeah.
So I think that's great. It's just coming out of the middle of the playfield, sort of like Munger coming up on Iron Man. It just brings another depth of joy to it. But I'm really liking the artwork on this. I wasn't sure if I would because it looked kind of busy to me.
You got to see it in
recognize
person.
the album cover, artwork, and I
so
think
iconic.
it really
is
looks
Led
good.
Zeppelin, right? For
Yeah.
It's super striking. It looks really good sitting on its own with just, the contrast with the bright white. I think it's cool.
Well, it looks cool. How was it to shoot? I can't wait to get my hands on one.
It's very satisfying. If you like those, those fast, smooth Steve RItchie shots, you will very much like this game.
Yeah, I was listening to you say that you can backhand those ramps, and I love that because, if you want to take a chance, then do it. Like you said, I haven't shot it, but you were saying the right 180 is a little tight, you were saying?
The right ramp is difficult to backhand. It's kind of difficult for me to shoot too, but I'm also a bad pinball player. But the left ramp, the really skinny long one that counts for the Zeppelin multi-ball, which again is like lit right from the get-go, and it feeds it right back to that left flipper. So you could, shoot it, catch it, backhand it, and then you just start the multi-ball right away. And it's very satisfying.
That's excellent. There's several games that we placed in Children's Hospital, Ronald McDonald Homes, that if you could get to that multi-ball quick, it just, captures their attention fully on, just what's happening in front of them.
It definitely helps bring more people into pinball, which is...
Oh, without a doubt.
That's the brilliance of design of a lot of these later pinball games is that can you start the multi-ball very easily? Yes. If you really know what you're doing and you know the rules, you know a few things to do before you start that multi-ball. So they're deep enough for the skilled players that know the rules, but simple enough for a very casual player to be able to get to that, experience, the thing they're chasing, the chaos of multi-ball.
Well, we were, where was it? Chapel Hill, we put in a Ninja Turtles, and we told them about, the pizza, becoming a spinner where the balls come out, and we told them where to make those 3 shots. And again, it's easy to get to, and they were just completely blown away by the mechanics of it. The flipper comes up and projects the balls out onto the pizza, and then it starts spinning. They just were just jumping up and down, clapping their hands. They were just so excited to see that. And, if they could get there and, make those 3 shots and see that happening and not shoot anything else, I think they would be good. And Dale Jr., you were saying about that earlier. We actually have one in a Houston Children's Hospital, and they love it. And that racetrack, how it launches the ball, it's just, pulls their attention in, and, they want to figure out more about shooting a pinball machine. So that's a good machine.
NASCAR's got great choreography. That's one of my favorite games to teach simple rules to new players too also. If you have a NASCAR at home or on location, after saying that, people might realize that it actually is a pretty simple game to teach to people that might not know anything about pinball, because the modes are so simple. Even someone dumb like me can figure it out. So.
It is a good shooting game. You hit that crashed car, and you put it in the garage, and it disappears, and they're trying to figure it out, and all of a sudden it shoots it back out. So, that's a great toy that has there.
Yeah,
It's a
Pat
great
Lawler
machine.
does a lot of fun choreography like that. I think that's probably one of Pat Lawler's best designs, in my opinion.
Wow.
Maybe the NASCAR theme doesn't really do much for me, but the game's so much fun to play. The thing that really hooked me with pinball when I was a little kid was the first time I remember playing pinball was Twilight Zone. And when you shoot the ball and it disappears, and I remember that moment very vividly of like, where the heck is it going to come out from? And then it shoots out from the slot machine. I was like, whoa! And that's what sent me on my journey.
Well, that's like you said, a hard machine to recognize where the ball's coming from, because it has all those, lane guides and everything underneath the play field. And you're like, okay, I made that shot and it came out here, and the other one comes out, in a different spot. And I think it's a cool machine. Twilight Zone's a great machine too. So I love it. I better let you guys get. Happy New Year's to everybody, and Happy New Year's to you guys too.
Thanks, Dan. We will see you next time.
No, thank you guys. Thank you so much for what you do. Good luck on the Twippy Awards, right?
Yeah, not for us, but for everyone else. Good luck.
No, I was saying,
Don't
I
forget
thought
to
that
vote.
was cute that people were writing you guys in.
I
I think
know.
that's awesome.
It warms
All
our
right, bye,
hearts,
Dan.
but come on.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Good
Night.
night. Here's the voice of Dan. All right, so that's it. That's our show, Kyle.
I'm
I hope you had
exhausted.
fun. I'm
Yes.
turning away this timer. I have all sorts of crazy stuff going on now, but that's it. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope 2021 is better than 2020 for you, and I'm sure
Yes.
it will.
So
And
thanks for sticking around with us. It's kind of funny, like, it's not going to take much longer till we hit our 1 year mark doing this, which is kind of cool. I mean, I think
Yeah.
we've only missed 2
can't get any worse,
Thursdays,
right?
right? Am I right?
Yeah, we took a few Thursdays off.
Thanksgiving.
That's true. I had to
Christmas.
take a few other Thursdays off at work, which the wonderful Midge filled in for me, and I think that's everyone's favorite show too. Let's all put in our emojis, Midge emotes into
Yeah,
the
put-
chat.
Get them
The
Steves
Steve
in there.
Brogy.
So that's
He's
fun.
our awesome moderator.
Thanks for sticking around with
But
us.
yeah,
And
next week we'll be doing something pinball repair related,
yeah.
and we'll let
fix
you know
something.
what that is very soon. And we're always looking for more ideas. If there's something particular repair-wise that you would like to see, just shoot us an email to marcotv@marcopinball.com, and we'll consider it. That's about as best as we can do is we'll consider it.
Yeah, well, we will
We'd like
consider
to-
it. We'll see.
Yeah, like the
I remember-
pinball shooter rod, we added that tiny little segment because we had a fan constantly asking, I want to see this. And, we did it, and now all of his games shoot well. So congratulations.
Fan of the show CH. Maybe next week we'll do some common like Bally. We'll finish up some stuff on strikes and spares mechanically, just so then I could go in and clean it and put it back together and do something with it.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's just saying in the chat they just need you to come over and fix all their pinball machines.
I'd like to. I miss fixing games all the time. I very much treasure the 2 hours
How
a
to
week.
glue a cabinet back together? Oh my gosh, Turin, what is happening?
I mean, it's really not that hard, but we will have to do that with probably my Jungle Lord. I think my Jungle Lord has a split neck, and I think the head is also split. I know that the head...
Let's do it then.
Nah, I'd rather fix things first, and then we'll start gluing things
Jungle
back together
Lord, see,
later.
Brian?
We have a lot to do on that Jungle Lord. I'm very excited to start working on Jungle Lord, but I still have to finish Indy 500 for the customer. It's just still sitting exploded with parts all over the place. But anyone who's been
Tisk,
watching
tisk.
long enough, hold on, before we go,
Oh my gosh, Kyle.
come on, I like to talk. Look at this. What camera's on?
Stars fix. Oh yeah.
We fixed it. It's not broken
Oh.
anymore.
Wow, it's all apart. And now it's
Now it's
welded
back together. So I will, once I finish moving, I will start putting Indy 500 back together. We have a couple more
you
lessons
go.
on that game too.
Can you fix a Pinball Magic CPU?
Can I? Yes.
Oh, is Rhett Reese the guy who just sent you jerky?
Hey, Rhett.
And then that Me jerky?
Yes, Rhett makes amazing jerky.
They sent it to me all the way in Arkansas, and it was delicious.
Next
Thank
time
you.
I'm able to come back home, and I am in Northern California, I will come and fix your stars. If I can't help you fix it via email. I love stars. It's like my other favorite pinball game. I need that to go next to my Meteor very badly.
Yeah.
So if y'all have a stars, anyone wants to sell me a stars, especially if it's really, really effed up, I'll take it, for lack of a better word.
Oh, yeah, we need a car talk for like pinball. Yeah, Kyle, you should do another show where you're just sitting and talking pinball. Oh, wait, you're kind of working on that.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Anyway.
My new
We just
my
need
new
more
house
hours in
has
the day.
a whole
Yeah.
room where I will be able to do that in. So we can sit down and I can stream from home, and then we could do pinball car talk.
No, with your cat sitting on top of you. Speaking of cats, oh no, where did this cats go? We're going to, for those who are still on Twitch, we were going to raid the O'Neills, but they're here on our stream and they raided to us. I mean, geez. Talk about all the...
Brian, I'll try to help you fix an EM via email or whatever, but it's hard.
We're going to raid Small Town Pinball.
Cool.
We like him. It's been a while since we've raided him. And he's playing Paragon. So what a fitting game.
And Rebecca, let me know let me know what's going on with that Pinball Magic computer, and I could try to point you in the right direction. Or I might be able to fix it. It's been a while since I've worked on a Capcom game, and I kind of don't like working on electronics with a game I actually don't have one around to test things in, but let's talk about it. I'm happy to help.
Very cool. And thank you everyone for all the follows. Thanks, It's Lit Pinball, for sharing everything. You always come in here and gift subs and emotes and everything. You're awesome. And Happy New Year, everybody. We really appreciate y'all joining us.
Happy New Year. Thank you. Y'all are super cool.
All right. We're going to raid. We're going to play the splash screen.
I need a beer.
Isn't it? Oh, no, that's not the splash screen. Oh, we raid it. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Yeah.